Euphoria. Season 3 does not begin with noise. It begins with silence. A silence that feels heavy, like the calm after a storm that never really ended. The world we saw before was full of chaos, wild nights, and reckless choices. But now, everything feels slower, darker, and more real. The characters are no longer running without thinking. They are standing still, forced to look at the mess they created. Every face carries guilt. Every moment feels like it could break at any second. This season shows a clear shift. The fun is gone. The escape is gone. What remains is the truth. Rue's world is no longer about hiding pain behind drugs or jokes. It is about waking up every day and facing the damage left behind. Her eyes tell a story before she even speaks, a story of fear, regret, and the constant fight to stay alive inside her own mind. Recovery is not shown as beautiful or inspiring. It is shown as painful, lonely, and uncertain. The streets feel colder now. The rooms feel smaller. The colors are darker, like the world itself is tired. Characters who once felt untouchable now look fragile. Power does not protect anyone anymore. Love does not feel safe. Trust is broken, and every relationship feels like it is hanging by a thread. Even when characters are together, they feel alone, lost in their own thoughts. There is a sense that time has moved forward, but the wounds have not healed. Life is asking harder questions now. What happens when there are no excuses left? What happens when your past keeps knocking on the door? Season 3 sets the tone clearly. There will be consequences. No more escaping into the night. No more pretending tomorrow will fix everything. This is a world where choices stay with you, where one mistake can change everything. And as the trailer hints, the characters are about to learn that some damage cannot be undone. Something has changed in Euphoria, and whatever comes next will hurt more than before. Season 2 ended without peace, without closure, and without relief. It ended with broken bonds and unanswered pain. No one truly won. Some survived, some escaped, and some were left standing alone, trying to understand what just happened. The ending did not feel like a finish. It felt like a warning. Rue walked away alive, but not healed. She faced the edge and stepped back, yet the shadow of addiction still follows her everywhere. The damage she caused to the people who loved her did not disappear just because she chose to live. Trust was broken. Words were said that cannot be taken back, and the silence between her and others feels heavier than any fight. Recovery did not fix her life. It only forced her to face it sober. Nate's world cracked in ways he never expected. The control he believed he had began to slip. His anger, his fear, and his need for power pushed everyone away. The mask he wears is still there, but now it is cracked. Every move he makes feels desperate, like someone trying to hold on to something that is already gone. His past actions are no longer secrets. They are threats, waiting to explode. Cassie lost herself completely. Love turned into obsession, and obsession turned into shame. She gave everything to someone who could not save her, and in the process, she lost her sense of self. By the end, she was no longer chasing love. She was running from the truth. The truth that she cannot blame others forever. The truth that she must face herself. Maddy walked away stronger, but wounded. She chose herself, but strength does not erase pain. She carries scars that no one sees, scars from loving too deeply, trusting too much, and staying too long. Her silence at the end says more than any scream. It says she remembers everything, and she will not forget. Lexi stood in the spotlight, finally heard, finally seen. But telling the truth has a price. Exposing stories also exposes wounds. The applause faded, and what remained was the weight of what she revealed. She now carries the fear of being understood and the fear of being hated. And then there is the loss hanging in the air, a feeling that someone is missing, a reminder that violence and choices have real endings. Season 3 begins with that pain still fresh. Nothing was fixed. Nothing was resolved. The past is still alive, and it is shaping every step forward. This is not a fresh start. This is the continuation of everything they tried to escape. Season 3 of Euphoria introduces a world where the chaos of youth meets the harsh reality of consequences. The parties, the late-night escapades, and the reckless decisions are no longer enough to hide pain or confusion. The characters are stepping into a new phase of life, where every action matters and every choice carries weight. This is the season where fun collides with truth and reality refuses to look away. Rue's journey takes a sharper turn. She is no longer just surviving day by day. She is confronting the emotional wreckage left behind. Recovery has become a battlefield. Each day brings a decision: relapse or resist. She faces herself more than anyone else, and the internal struggle is exhausting, terrifying, and relentless. The trailer hints at moments of vulnerability, where Rue's walls crumble, exposing raw fear and desperation. But there is also a glimpse of hope, a fragile thread connecting her back to life. Nate, once untouchable, is now dealing with the consequences of his actions. The control he sought is slipping through his fingers, leaving him exposed and unpredictable. His world is tense, dangerous, and full of secrets ready to explode. Every interaction is charged with suspicion, every word a potential threat. Nate's journey this season is not about dominance. It is about survival in the aftermath of his own choices. Cassie and Maddy confront the aftermath of betrayal and self-discovery. Their stories are no longer about who they love, but about who they are without the people who hurt them. Both are forced to navigate trust, identity, and self-worth in a world that has shown them that nothing is permanent. The trailer teases intense emotional moments, tears, confrontations, and the silent strength that comes from finally standing for oneself. Lexi steps further into the spotlight, her truth becoming a beacon and a weapon. Creativity becomes a shield, exposing her own vulnerabilities while challenging those around her. Her journey intertwines with others in ways that are raw and unexpected, shaping the season's emotional core. The trailer shows glimpses of her in control, yet constantly aware that being honest can hurt both herself and those she loves. New faces and unresolved tensions also mark the season. People from the past return, and new threats emerge. The stakes feel higher, and the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. The trailer emphasizes mood over dialogue. Slow shots of empty streets, shadows in dark rooms, flickering lights, and the subtle weight of unspoken pain. Season 3 is not about escape. It is about facing life's consequences head-on. Every scene hints at this shift. Quieter, darker, and more emotionally intense. The characters can no longer run from reality, and the audience is invited to feel the tension with them. The world of Euphoria has matured, and with it, the stakes have grown. This season is not just a continuation. It is a transformation. Every choice, every mistake, every emotion matters now more than ever. Rue's story continues to be the beating heart of the season. Her struggle with addiction is no longer just a personal battle. It is a test of survival, identity, and connection. Every time she steps outside, she is reminded of the past she cannot undo. Friends who once supported her now look at her with caution, worry, or even fear. The trailer shows Rue in moments of fragility, staring at herself in the mirror, sitting alone in empty rooms, or pausing mid-step as if the weight of life itself is too heavy to carry. Recovery is messy, terrifying, and unglamorous, and yet Rue's vulnerability is also her strength. She shows the audience what it means to keep going when nothing in the world feels safe. Nate's journey takes him deeper into control and chaos. He is haunted by the consequences of his past choices, yet he continues to exert power in ways that are both terrifying and fascinating. This season, Nate is unpredictable. His anger flares in private and public, creating tension that feels ready to explode at any moment. But underneath the aggression, the trailer hints at guilt, doubt, and the cracks in his carefully constructed mask. Nate's story in Season 3 is about survival, and the cost of controlling everyone and everything around him. Cassie and Maddy face the aftermath of broken relationships and betrayal. Both women are forced to confront who they are outside the shadows of the people who hurt them. Cassie struggles with self-worth and the reality that love can be dangerous when it demands everything. Maddy carries her pain with quiet strength, showing that resilience is not about ignoring heartbreak, it is about learning from it. Their stories intersect with tension, heartbreak, and moments of unexpected empowerment. The trailer teases emotional confrontations, silent reckonings, and choices that will define them more than anyone else. Lexi steps further into her role as the observer and truth-teller. Her creativity becomes a tool to process the world around her, but also a way to challenge the people she cares about. Season 3 shows Lexi balancing honesty with empathy, a difficult tightrope when every revelation can hurt those she loves. The trailer hints at her facing moral dilemmas, navigating friendships strained by past mistakes, and finally asserting herself as more than just an observer. The season also introduces new characters and revisits unresolved ones, adding layers of tension and unpredictability. Each encounter feels like it could change everything. The visual storytelling emphasizes this. Long shots of characters isolated in dark rooms, close-ups that reveal every flicker of emotion, and scenes where silence carries more weight than words. Ultimately, Season 3 is a study in consequences. No one can hide, no one can run, and no one escapes unscathed. The characters we thought were untouchable are shown in moments of weakness, fear, and reflection. The trailer teases pain, hope, betrayal, and redemption in equal measure. By the end, it is clear, every decision, every relationship, every choice will define who survives this new chapter. This season of Euphoria promises not just drama, but a raw, emotional, and unflinching look at what it truly means to grow up and to face yourself when the world won't let you forget.